In the isolated village of Black Hollow, where the whispering winds carried tales of unspeakable horror, there stood an ancient cemetery known as the Graveyard of the Forsaken. Amongst the weathered tombstones, a foreboding crypt lay hidden beneath the gnarled branches of an ancient willow tree. This crypt was the final resting place of a malevolent force, whispered about in hushed tones, the Ravenous Remains. For generations, the villagers dared not speak of the crypt, fearing that to utter its name aloud would awaken the malevolence that slept within. But one fateful night, as a blood-red moon cast an ominous glow upon Black Hollow, a group of reckless youths decided to unravel the mysteries concealed in the Graveyard of the Forsaken. Drawn by a mix of morbid curiosity and the thrill of the unknown, the group gathered outside the rusted gates of the cemetery. As the clock struck midnight, they ventured into the moonlit necropolis, the air thick with an otherworldly stillness. The crypt, adorned with foreboding gargoyles, stood at the heart of the graveyard. Its heavy stone door, sealed for centuries, seemed to beckon the bravest, or perhaps the most foolhardy, among them. As they pushed open the creaking entrance, a gust of cold wind swept through the crypt, extinguishing their flickering lanterns. Deep within the shadowy depths, the group discovered an ancient sarcophagus adorned with strange symbols that pulsed with an unnatural energy. Unbeknownst to them, this sarcophagus held the Ravenous Remains, a malevolent spirit that feasted on the souls of the living. As the youths peered into the inky darkness, a pair of crimson eyes ignited within the sarcophagus. The Ravenous Remains, now awakened, cast an oppressive aura that chilled the very bones of the intruders. The crypt seemed to come alive with whispers of despair, echoing through the chamber like a macabre lullaby. One by one, the youths felt an icy grip on their souls as the Ravenous Remains devoured their life force. Their terrified screams echoed through the cemetery, but the villagers, asleep in their beds, were oblivious to the nightmarish feast transpiring in the Graveyard of the Forsaken. The following morning, a sense of unease gripped Black Hollow as the village awoke to an eerie silence. The group of youths was nowhere to be found, and a palpable malevolence hung in the air. The once forgotten tales of the Ravenous Remains resurfaced, and the villagers realized that the ancient evil had been unleashed. As the days passed, a darkness settled over Black Hollow. Strange occurrences plagued the village, unsettling shadows in the moonlight, disembodied whispers in the wind, and the unrelenting feeling of being watched. The Ravenous Remains, now free from its crypt, prowled the village streets, seeking new souls to devour. Desperation gripped the villagers as they sought a way to banish the malevolence that had befallen their once peaceful community. A wise elder, versed in ancient lore, revealed that the Ravenous Remains could only be vanquished by offering a sacrifice of pure and untainted souls. A harrowing choice lay before the villagers, to sacrifice one of their own to save the many. As the crimson moon rose once again, casting an eerie glow over Black Hollow, the villagers, torn between dread and desperation, gathered to make the unthinkable choice that would determine the fate of their cursed village. The chilling wind carried the anguished cries of the chosen sacrifice into the night, and as the villagers watched in terror, the Ravenous Remains retreated back to its crypt, sated for the time being. The once forbidden cemetery, now echoing with the sobs of the bereaved, held the weight of the village's darkest secret. Black Hollow, forever changed by the malevolent force that had befallen it, became a cautionary tale whispered by those who dared to speak its name. The Ravenous Remains, dormant once more, awaited the next crimson moon, hungry for the souls that would unwittingly tread upon the Graveyard of the Forsaken.